Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf Plays the Lore Master, and we are back here with Ilunin, who was strangely absent during the previous battle. And it is time for us to see what our plan of attack is.
The time has come to strike hard the fortress of the enemy.
That Thungelhut stands still in our control, and that the Golden Host opposes still the raids that rule in the fortress are both testaments of our prowess and yours. Let us send a message to those who reside within yonder walls. The time has come to strike hard the fortress of the enemy. Goldagnir has devised a plan to do so, and we have been discussing it. He will tell you the specifics if you inform him that you are willing to fight. Yes, ye are. We are willing to fight, and I am sure that this plan is going to involve something like send the lore master in first. I don't know. It's just that feeling I get. The feeling that I get every time somebody gives me a quest. Hello there! What is this bold new plan that doesn't involve sending in the lore master first?
It will be no easy task to fight behind the walls of the fortress, but we must.
The fortress of Dol Guldur stands atop the rocky spire to the east, Pine Wolf. It will be no easy task to fight our way beyond the walls, for the enemy will see us coming from a great distance. Those of us who do make it to the gate will need to bear the burden of combat for the entire host, for we are certain to lack the numbers needed for easy victory. Seizing the gate is just the beginning, but let us concentrate on the start of the campaign before planning for the end. So that's right. It is time for us our assault on Dol Guldur. It is time for us to breach the Necromancer's gate.
Dol Guldur is a labyrinth of tight hallways and open courtyards. The Necromancer's gate marks the entry into the heart of the fortress.
It is time to begin the final assault on the fortress. If you can push forward and claim the Necromancer's gate, then the heart of Dol Guldur will be opened for our forces. This mission cannot fail. Without the gate, Dol Guldur stands unassailable. Fight with strength and honor. Of course, there are some parts of the skirmish that make a whole lot more sense if you're doing it in a raid than if you were doing it solo. And here we are for the opening shot to it. Now, I have to admit that this is one of the few skirmishes that I've probably done. Well, I don't know about in the past. Most of my plays would have been probably solo, but these days I'm more likely to do this skirmish in a raid than any other size, because I am in a regular, well, semi-regular group, I will say, that tends to do this and the next one in just shoot at that thing. At the cat too, because the cat does most of my damage. Yeah. Never forget to tell the cat to fight. Unfortunately, against that particular lieutenant, you do have to tell them to fight, since they just don't like attacking the Echo of Death due to its tendency to put this nasty buff on them. There you go. Oh, think of you for staying away until the Bloodrook was all dead. You were just such a polite enemy. Now, sometimes when I'm not doing when the raid group isn't running, then I do have a group where we do small fellowship ones, but there I try to have a variety of skirmishes so that we don't do the same one all the time. In fact, in that group I tend to avoid this skirmish simply because we do it so often in the raid group. And of course there are some that I'm more likely to do solo, such as Rescue at Nurskashu, because Rescue is such a pain in a group. It's ridiculously easy solo, ridiculously painful the larger the group is. You should have no trouble with it in duo. But can get through it in small fellowship. I try to think if I've ever managed it in a raid, because it does get tricky. Now I've talked about Rescued Nurskashu. Obviously this one I've done in a raid, because I told you that I've probably, at least in recent times, done this more in a raid than in any other size. I would have to check my main to see what my numbers are for that, because in the earlier days, yeah, definitely probably more solo. And I've done these all multiple times on my main, since my main has the Skirmisher Middle Earth title. Now, if I go for the Skirmisher Middle Earth title on this character, I will probably have to do that mainly off camera, or maybe try to do some that are, let's see, maybe run a few skirmishes at, where's my soldier? There you are. Alright. I would have to run a few of them at, several of them are off camera, and maybe do some of them at tier 2 or something like that to see how I can do on that, because it looks like the way I'm bursting through this, I probably should be able to handle T2, but I normally don't run it on T2 for when I'm doing the storyline. Partly because it helps to get through the story more easily if I'm doing it in the easier setting then. But the other reason is, when you're having 20-minute episodes, the episodes would be a lot longer if I did it in T2. So I'd have to test it out at some point. See how long it takes me to do it, because the Lore Master is getting through this at a fairly good clip. Now, of course, right now I do have a couple of buffs on me because I wanted to clear my inventory. I said, okay, what do I do with all these stupid Hobbit present buffs that I have in here? I figure, well, just pop them, and some of them are things that I probably should have used. It would have been more optimal to use about 40 levels ago. Like something that adds 90 power to you. I said, why do I need something that adds 90 power when I'm at this level? Yeah, I know, it's a drop in the bucket when you're at 4,978. But I figure, well, it's certainly not going to get more effective in what it does for me, so might as well use it now, get it out of my inventory, because my inventory was all clogged up when I was doing that quest for the spirits. I got school yourself. Yeah, Black Cloud Saruman, yeah. Or whatever you said. I don't know black speech all that well. Whatever! Do you speak black speech? Do you speak Westron? Do you die when I throw fireballs at you? Well, that answer at least is yes. Third ward claimed. Let's step back a little bit. Not that I would have too much trouble handling all those. Here you go. You get a fireball. You get a fireball. Everybody gets a fireball. And yes, let the bird go down. Are you ready? Sick 'em! Yeah, I mean cat sick 'em, not bring out all the animals at once, because I think bringing out all the animals would be a bit... Maybe I should get closer so that the archer actually sees the combat. It may come in handy. Might have been a good idea that if they... that the archer sees anyone that you attack automatically or something. Just thinking it would have been useful. I think that's why some people like to have warriors, is because there's no way that the warrior is going to miss the battle. You just have to be careful with warriors, especially if you're a melee character. I don't think I would ever use a warrior with a melee character. Yeah, especially with a champion or something like that. Well, if you're a champion and you need a warrior, then that's, I said, okay. There you go. That's the last of the fourth ward. So now let's head into the Sorcerer's Ascent, because they couldn't have a fifth ward, I guess. They wanted to vary the name. One down. Two down. Actually, I'm ripping through these good. Well, of course, what do you expect? I'm beginning to think that maybe this is doable at tier 2 without taking too much time. Especially with this one, because this is the episode that is going to be... it's going to have to be just a skirmish. It's not like I can do anything else in the episode, because this is immediately followed by another skirmish. There you go. I didn't get this mortal wound off of me. Thank you. Unfortunately, I wonder if that's one of the things that the red line gets, is a better cooldown for Sticky Gourd. That sounds like something that would be really useful if you were mainly geared up for damage. See, Sticky Gourd cooldown is currently 36. Yeah. I think that's a reasonable one if most of your damage is coming from your pet. But if most of it was coming down from yourself, then yeah, I think that would be too long of cooldowns. So I'm pretty sure Sticky Gourd must have some sort of trait that will do that. Let's see. Hello, Doraz. Should I bring out the zoo? No. Looks like that is going... How can I be losing? Because that Lynx is really great. That's why. The Lynx is OP. That's why you're losing. There you go. Let me get my Bounty, yes, all of a sudden there was a bounty. And while that guy is coming up, the Ascent. Ooh, I actually have another trait to spend. Whatever. And I'll throw that in. But I was just wondering about what we have here. Master of Fire. Yeah, extra fire damage. Tactical damage. Burning Earth. Cracked Earth damage. Knowledge of Storms. Ancient Fire. Extra DOT, so Gust of Wind gives. Yeah, I still don't see anything about Burning Embers having a better cooldown. But of course, it could be one of the things that comes from the left column, so that you can't. Yeah, a lot of this stuff does apply to Burning Embers. Or actually, no, it's not Burning Embers I was talking about. I was talking about Sticky Gourd. Yeah, so if there's a sticky gourd bonus in here or something like that, it might be on the left side or something like this. Okay. I don't know. I have a CC line? Actually, out of curiosity, since I'm at the end of the episode, and I've got a little bit of extra time anyway, so here we go. Let's see what it says here. Exposure to the elements. Master of the elements. Improved ignition. Liquid fire. Sticky gourd becomes improved sticky gourd and applies a burning embers to target struck every 4 seconds. Okay. Whatever. I better. Well, I'll have to worry about that later since. Let's get out of here. Actually, it looks like they just buff it up rather than reducing its cooldown, which is another way of handling it. Hello there! I've managed to breach the Necromancer's gate.
We must act quickly and launch the second attack upon the fortress.
You have taken the gate, but may not hold it for long. We must act quickly and launch the second attack. The skirmish will happen beyond the walls of Dol Guldur. I do not know what perils we will face there, but that is the destination of the Golden Host, and we must face it now unflinching, which is why you're sending me in there alone, right? Of course. I must face it unflinching, you mean? Right? Well, we'll see who else follows us in there when we, in the next episode, assault the Ring Raid's lair.